pick a random crash. I was driving to work, this is several years ago, in the Denver metro area, and there had been a report of an aggressive driver. I imagine someone that is, it's just me in my car, and what do I care, right? And this person was weaving in and out of traffic and ultimately clipped another car and rolled over. The driver was ejected. They were on the westbound side of the highway, and their body, this person's body, came to rest on the eastbound side of the highway. In fact, on the far shoulder. So the person was ejected and flown. If you tip, I mean, it wasn't a straight line, right? But you figure out a highway lane is about 12 feet. It's 2 lanes, and they ended up on the shoulder, plus probably a 30-foot median. So this person was airborne, I don't know, 60, 70 feet, something along those lines, right? And they landed on a concrete shoulder of the highway at 7:30 in the morning, cold. But imagine, this is in the metro area, imagine what the traffic is like at 7:30 in the morning. So all these people that were driving the direction this person was driving are seeing this person weaving in and out of traffic, right? And they're probably getting upset at him because he's driving aggressively. He just clips one car, minor damage to that vehicle. And he starts to rotate and goes in the median, and then he's ejected. And then he lands, and his head hit the concrete. And it was a rapidly fatal injury. Blood, massive amounts across the highway. And it was the way I went to work, so I happened to get there relatively quickly afterwards. So there are 10, 15, 20 people standing around that witnessed the crash. There's more people that witness his driving behavior. And now they're standing there, and they're looking at a pool of blood that I can cover him, but I can't get enough of it. And meanwhile, people are driving by, and they're seeing. And I'll tell you, we're calling out victim services people to talk to witnesses. We hadn't identified the guy, so we're talking to witnesses that just watch this. And the vast majority of us don't see that kind of thing, and that's an image that sticks with you. I'll tell you, for me personally, I still drive by that area every time, and for probably a year afterwards, I still saw the stain of blood on the shoulder of the highway, right? I could drive to you right now, because the best that we could do was throw a bunch of dirt on it, right? And then get cleaned up so people didn't know. And the person that wasn't there that day probably thinks it's an oil stain of some kind, but I know, and everybody else that was there that day knows that was blood. And all those people that drove, so they remember that, and that sticks with you, and it's not healthy. Right? That's things that change who you are. We have state troopers that investigate, that respond to these things every day. And they take home these images, these things that are stuck in their brain, and it changes the way you think. It changes the way your brain works. And this is not an opinion, this is psychology, this is things that we know. Trauma changes you. And there's healthy ways to deal with it, and there's unhealthy ways to do it. So I think from a first responder perspective, it's a one car, one person flies through the windshield. Hopefully if that person, no one cares about this person. Like that's my assumption. If someone says that it's my choice, I'm presuming that you don't think anybody cares about you, which I'm sorry that you do that. But my first thought is, I care about you. I care about your life. That's my job. And that's my commitment. That's frankly the oath I took. And so that's the first part. And I got to tell you, you're never going to be the same after you fly through your windshield. If you're lucky enough to survive, your body ain't going to be the same. So it's a lasting impact.